Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Manoj Networker. So today again I came up with a new video. So in this video we'll see what is a network monitoring and why is needed that in the real time, and how the companies will monitor the network stability in real time, who are all the vendors in the network field for monitoring, and all those things we'll discuss. And at the last of the session I'll also walk you through about site 24 by 7 monitoring tool. So this is an dummy version, this is an free version, we have got it. Okay, and yes, you can see here this is only read only version. So I'll explain at the last. So let's complete the theory. So basically why monitoring is needed. So let me again tell me the example. So let's say I am the network admin for so and so company. So I am managing three switches, namely switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and I have one router and I have one firewall, and I also have one access point who is providing the wireless connections to the end users. Now if you see, I have total of six network components, so three switches, one router, one firewall, and one access point. So how I can monitor them, so I'll not be able to go and sit all the day with them, right? So I need to have some mechanism to monitor. Like let's say how we can do that means the monitoring tool will do that job. So it can come in either hardware and software. So what you can do, so site 24 by 7, so let's say site 24 by 7 we have by the subscription. So in the site 24 by 7 we can add this access point, in the site 24 by 7 we can add this router one. So in site 24 by 7 monitoring tool we can add switch 1, in the same way switch 2, in the same way switch 3, and in the same way firewall. So now this monitoring tool, the job of this monitoring tool is to monitor all my 6 devices. Okay, like let's say if this switch one went down in the middle of the night, or something is happened or power issue, this switch one went down. So what this monitoring tool will do, so I can even configure the threshold. Just wait for 15 seconds. Okay, so for every 5 seconds talk to this switch, ping and ping. So I already explained what is a ping in my earlier videos, so please go and watch if you don't understand ping. So what they will do means, in the back end this monitoring tool will keep on ping to this switch, for keep on ping for 5 seconds. So 5 seconds into 3 times. So for every 5 seconds just wait, if you are getting a response, it's okay. So if you see the things from router, so now since the router is router is up, so this tool will ask router, are you available? This router will respond, yes I am available, because this router is up and active. Whereas if you see this switch is down, so because of power issue, so now this monitoring tool will go and ask, are you available? The switch one, are you available? No, it will not respond. So first 5 seconds it will not respond, second 5 seconds it will not respond, so third time, so 15 seconds, so this is the hold on time that is expired. So that means this monitoring tool identified that the switch one is down, and in turn this monitoring tool will connect to ServiceNow, any ticketing tool in that case. So ServiceNow for example, now this monitoring tool will send one alert, will send one automated alert or system alert, to this ServiceNow, telling about this switch is down. I am trying to keep on talk to this person, to this switch, but there is no response. And then this ServiceNow will create one automatic P1 ticket or P2 ticket based on the criticality, and it will notify to your network team. So without this monitoring tool our job will is is not possible, because see, since this is a lab topology, I'm just taking six as an example, six network devices. Like let's say you are working for a very big MNC, maybe you have 100 switches, maybe you have 50 routers, so 50 access points, and 40 to 50 routers. We have so many, we have load balancer devices, we have so many in the real time. So how we can monitor all these things means with the help of monitoring tool. So without the monitoring tool, the job of a network person is not easy. So network monitoring plays a critical is a vital process, is a critical IT process, where all the networking components like routers, switches, firewalls, servers, VMs are monitored for fault and performance issues, and they are evaluated continuously all the time, 24 by 7 they will evaluate to maintain and optimize their availability. So one of the important aspect of this network monitoring, it should be proactive. So that monitoring tool, whatever you are using, okay, so it should be proactive to identify all the issues. So I have named a few of the vendors, like let's say Site 24/7 is one of the vendor. The Site 24/7 is the application, and it's been built by Joho Corporation. So Joho, they are headquartered in Chennai only, our Indian company. So the parent organization is Joho, and the application name is Site 24/7. I'll walk you through Site 24/7 in next 5 to 10 minutes. And OP5 is also one of the predominant tool. SolarWinds is also one of the predominant tool. NetScott. Again, there are so many vendors in the market. I have just added a few. So end of the day, doesn't matter whichever the application you are using, the base work of all the monitoring tools is same. What they will do, so they need to be available, so that monitoring tool will be up. So doesn't matter you have 100 switches, doesn't matter if you have 100 routers, so they all will monitor, they all will talk. So if any one of the switch went down, so automatically ServiceNow will create one ticket and it will send to the network team. I hope you have understood the basic idea of monitoring tool. So how to perform network monitoring effectively? So monitor only the essentials. Okay, so whatever is needed, so only those things you can monitor. Like let's say if you see, just for differentiation, so critical devices means servers is critical, routers is critical, switches are critical, and non-critical, if you see, desktops are non-critical, printers are non-critical. So first thing is how to perform network monitoring effectively means you need to identify which devices I need to monitor, which I shouldn't monitor. Okay, that much of idea you should have. So in this case, if I monitor servers, routers, switches, that will be enough. And then optimizing the monitoring interval. As I said, you can define how many seconds. So in my previous example, I took 5 seconds as an example, right? You see here 5 seconds. That means this monitoring tool, for every 5 minutes, for every 5 seconds, so it will go and talk to this all the 100 switches. Or even you can increase this 5 to 10 seconds also. It's all admin, you can decide. Okay, so even you can put it for 5 minutes, or you can even put it for 100 seconds also, but it's not recommended. What I'm trying to tell here is it's all depends. So you can change, you can customize according to your requirement. But as I said, most probably, so we'll put 10 seconds. So for every 10 seconds, try to ping and into 3 times. So that makes 30 seconds. So within 30 seconds, if any network device is not responding, you just go and create one ticket in the ServiceNow. So that's what it is telling, the monitoring interval. So interval in the sense, for how long, for how many seconds or how many minutes you wanna ping from your monitoring tool, for this monitoring tool towards your network devices. So choosing the right protocol, SNMP, so Simple Network Management Protocol, SNMP stands for. So SNMP is a widely used application in all these monitoring tools. So as I said, if you are using Site 24/7, OP5, SolarWinds, so the base of their the protocol is SNMP only. So all those applications, they are using SNMP. And setting the correct thresholds. So as I said, again, you need to define, as a network admin, we need to define how when to create a ticket, what kind of issues, so that the ticket can be created. So I can even define, for example, for any network switch, if the CPU is going beyond 70%, or the memory statistics of that particular router or particular firewall going beyond 75%, then only generate a ticket. If any CPU utilization is less than 70, then there is no point monitoring the particular switch, right? So that's why these kind of customizations, these kind of thresholds we can configure, so that it will enhance your monitoring skills. So CPU and memory statistics can be monitored for every 5 minutes. Again, it's not mandatory, depends on organization to organization, they can monitor, but minimum is 5 minutes. So as I said, SNMP is one of the widely accepted protocols to manage and monitor network elements. So most of the network elements come with SNMP agents. So SNMP agents we will be installing in the servers, routers and switches. And whereas this is the monitoring tool, so here SNMP server will be there. So it's like server to client connection. So here it will act as a server, it will act as a client, and the parameters will be fetched from all these switches, routers, servers to this monitoring tool. And moving further, yes, high availability is very much needed, because like let's say I have invested so much of amount on my physical infra. So I have bought 100 switches, 200 firewalls, so many things. But end of the day, if I only keep one single monitoring software or server, so if this will go down, if this will go down, then there is no point. So that's why I'll keep one more server as a secondary, so we can make these two as in a cluster. So if primary is available, it will go and monitor all the devices. Like let's say if primary is down, so in case of primary server failure, then only the secondary server will come to picture and it will start monitoring the traffic. So benefits of this failover system, what you will get while monitoring your network. So instantly recognize primary server failure, because they both are again the backend is ping only. So the primary server is talking to secondary server and secondary is talking to primary via ping communications only. So we can make HA in between those things and they will start working. So immediately, so like let's say if primary server is down, again whatever be the reason, so the secondary server will instantly recognize the primary server failure and automatically it will change over the role and it will start monitoring the traffic. So immediate notification via email in event of a primary server failure. That means if the primary server is failure, the network person will get the notification also. So it will ensure 100% of uptime and uninterrupted network management. So any one of the person, always they will monitor my network. So that will give me 100% of uptime, and it's completely automated, so no need of any network admin involvement here. So it's automated, seamless switching between primary server to standby server and vice versa. So I hope you have got some idea about what is a monitoring tool and why is needed. So if monitoring tool is not there, so it's not possible to see which switch is down, which switch is down, which firewall is down, what is the CPU of this switch, what is the memory of this switch. So those things it's impossible to go and see. So let me introduce, let me walk you through this portal site 24/7. So this is one of the predominant monitoring tools. So you can see here I have just connected to demo mode and we have only read only access here. So let me go to home. So since it is an demo version, it will take some time to load. Just bear with me. Let me refresh. Okay, very good. So if you see, so this is how the the GUI will be looking like for site 24/7 in real time. So for example, if you see, if your organization, how many devices it has. So here if you see almost 2670 devices it has. So this 2670, it consists of not only network devices, it can monitor, if you see, you can monitor VMware, you can monitor servers, you can manage cloud. Okay, so here this value represents all the infra, be it your servers, firewalls, network devices, everything. So we need to see, you need to click on down, so it will show you how many things are done. Again, all these things are dummy things, so they have just added for for just for seeing purposes only. So what I am interested is, so just go to web. So let's say if you have one website, for example, officesupplements.com. Okay, so here site 24/7, it will not only monitor your network devices, it can monitor one website, it can monitor one one certificate, it can monitor one server. So anything it can monitor basically. So if you see, this is a website, officesupplements.com. so current status is trouble, and you can see the response times, all those things, and from multiple locations also you can ping. If you see from Boston, is this website is reachable or not, from Hong Kong and from Chennai, Chicago, is this website reachable or not, and you can see the threshold levels, which protocols are using SHA-256, what is the public IP. So many things you can see here, and you can configure in real time also the same way. So let me just come down. Yes. You can see there is some error. So now automatically this tool will send the ticket to this particular application team who is the owner of this website. So accordingly they will be notified telling some errors. Now if you see this website is not working and it is throwing some errors. It is showing some errors. So that's why it will create one ticket. So you can even see, like, the events for last 30 days, last month, last quarter. Even you can go for custom period. Okay, so all those things we can do it over here. So if you go to web and websites, you can do that. And yeah, if you scroll down here, SSL TLS certificates, I'm sure people who are already working in the IT industry, they have some basic idea what is the certificate and how to monitor the certificates. So basically, like, to explain for freshers, so for example, for VPN, so for VPN every year we need to renew the certificate. So I can't remember the dates, right? Like, let's say this year October 30 I have renewed the certificate. Next year I may be in the company, I may be resign. Even though if I work, so I'll not be able to remind the particular date when I have renewed that particular certificate. But it's mandatory to renew the certificate yearly once. So what I can do, I can simply go to this SSL TLSL certificate and I can add the certificate here. If you see, this is one of the managengine.com website, and if you see days left for expiry, that means after 359 days automatically it will expire. And this is very important, so it will automatically see what grade it is, how many days validity, when it is issued date, when it is expiry date. Okay, now if you see before 30 days it will send one mail to me, in the sense to my team deal, telling, like, this so and so website, this particular the certificate going to expire in next 30 days or next in 15 days. So then I can take the appropriate action. So all those things you can do. So let's go to network. So I'm not talking about servers and those things. Even you can go for cloud also, but I'm interested in to show, like, network. So here in the network, our network work will start. So, like, let's say today you have bought one new switch. So this is your company, right? We are discussing. So, like, let's say we have bought one new firewall or one new router. So for example, one more firewall we have added. Okay, and I have configured everything here and I have added to cluster. So now first step is to configure and add to the cluster. Second step is what? Add to the monitoring tool. So how to add to this firewall to the monitoring tool? You can go to network devices and you can click on plus. So this is how in the real time we can add the any network device. It's not only firewall, be it access point, be it load balancer, be it firewall, any network device in that case. So first thing is you need to choose the on-premise polar. That means site 24/7 they will give you some polars from where you want to monitor. Like, let's say from India you wanted to monitor, or from somewhere US now you want to monitor. So you can see like Praveen Test Polar. All these are again dummy accounts. So just for pictorial representation they have added some things here. So let's choose Praveen Test Polar. Okay, and then you can go for next. And yes, we need to add credentials also. I'm not talking about how to create a credentials, how to add the credentials, but to monitor one network device you need to have credentials. So for time being, let's choose this training SNMP and then go to next. And here you can display name. So display name is firewall, because how each person has a unique name. In the same way, network devices also have their own unique names. So in our example, like, let's say I am working for a Tata company and the firewall is 2. So the name of that firewall, you need to add the display name and the IP address, whatever the IP address of that particular firewall, and category. You can see here if that is a router, switch, printer, storage, load balancer. You can choose VPN, firewalls, proxy. So many things you can have. So in this case, this is a firewall. So let me choose firewall. And yes, device templates. So what this is means, by default site 24/7 they have predefined templates. Like, let's say I'm using checkpoint firewall or FortiGate firewall. You can choose this vendor profiles, so that automatically many of the things you no need to configure, because that's a in the device template automatically the tool itself will fetch all the details. Okay, so here whatever the vendor you have, you can choose it and click on next. And yes, finally you can choose interfaces. I'm just leaving it to default and click on next. So it will ask you to recheck your entries. So you can recheck all your credentials, display name, host name, IP address, everything, and just click on discover. So anyway, now it will not work, but in real time, now this particular device, Tata Firewall 2 will add to the monitoring. So it's not going. So once it added, so you can go to network and you can click on up. So here you can see, so here this is the switch, main switch, so Jclar main switch. So once that firewall will come, so here it will come in green color. And this is also very important, guys. So if you are working for some company, and if you see, these are the 7 devices that are having problem, so you need to identify what problem it has, why it is showing critical alert, and you need to solve the problems. So you need to ensure always your monitoring is in green only. So it shouldn't be in critical state, it shouldn't be in trouble state. So trouble, if you see these Cisco switches or Cisco routers, they have the trouble. So you need to identify, you need to log in. If you see, you have the IP address of the devices also. We need to log in and we need to see what's the problem, and we will ensure all those devices are available in green state only. Okay, so this is how you can add any network device in the real time. And moving further, topology maps, guys, this is also very important. So like let's say you are fresher, you want to see the topologies, how your company is working, how many routers you have, how the switch is connected to firewall, and so on. If you see, if you go for topology map, you can see like this. Now if you see, this is my Cisco access point, you can see the model, and you can even see the VLAN, and it is connected to this particular switch. So you can see this is floor 1 AP, this is floor 2 AP, they are connected to multiple switches. And you can see finally this is my router. So if you just hold over your mouse here, so you can see, the router, the host name, IP address, all those things. And firepower, this is a Cisco firewall, that means this is a firewall. And this is how you can see the topology maps in the real time. So let me go there again. So network topology maps, let me open some other thing. So in the same way, in real time, whatever the company you are working for, you can look over the details. So by seeing this diagram, you will be able to get the identification. Okay, this router is connected to these two switches, and this is connected to this particular access point, and so on. So this is just to provide some sort of insights on how the things will work in real time. Configuration manager. So why this NCM is needed means this plays a very important role. So like let's say, as I said, I am monitoring these many devices, right? For example, this router went down. So consider maybe some, because they are missions, right? They are physical devices. They can go down at any time. So like let's say if this router went down, so I don't know how many configurations it has, what is the IP address it has, what are the configurations it has. Maybe this is acting as a DHCP server also, because I am managing almost 100 devices, right? Out of one device went down, so I'll not be able to write all the configurations again. So what I can do, so I can go to NCM and I can add the devices here. Again, you can go to click on if you wanted to add a device, so you can just click on this button and you can add a device. So but I will show you already added devices. Like let's say if you see, this is Cisco IOS router, this is Cisco IOS router. For example, let's consider this router went down. So that router is nothing but this R1 only. Since I have already added in NCM, so even though that is going down, I still have a copy of its configuration. So if you go to if you summary, so you can see the devices details, IP details, and so on. But I am not interested in this one. So I can go to config summary. So Cisco switches will have startup config and running config. So you can choose startup config. Now if you see, so I have all the configuration, even though this router is down. So but I have the configurations ready. So this is the host name, this is the enable password, network at 123. There is no authentications are being configured, no AAA. So these are the name servers, this is my domain name. So this is my username configured, this is my loopback IP, these are my interface configurations. You see guys now, so I have the configurations ready. Router EHRP I have, router OSPF configurations I have. So like let's say even though this router or this switch went down, I have a copy. So what I can do, I can buy one new router or I can buy one new firewall. What I can do, simply I can even copy paste. So like let's say the same configurations I need, so I can simply copy here, I can copy to the new router or the new switch. So I hope this is informative, right? So NCM means network configuration manager. Again, you can add here access point, you can add firewall, you can add any network device here. So this will ensure that you have the backups. So you can see backup status, that is in green color. So this will help when there is an unoccurrence of events, like if your network devices are not coming up or not booting up, then still you have the configurations in place, so that you can buy a new switch or you can replace a new switch. So I hope the session is informative. So if you need any information on site 24/7, how the monitoring will work in real time, I'm happy to help. So you can just ping out in the comment section, so that I can help you answering the more questions. So thank you.